True or false? DeAndre Ayton is a top 5 center in the National Basketball Association.
Definitely false. Oh,
that's tough. That's tough.
Center.
I'm
sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's not 1999. There's not 20 good centers anymore, so I don't know why you reacted that way. Absolutely false. What?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, easy.
Okay,
yeah,
so we went from
that's easy.
Absolutely not.
Center,
of course.
Center.
What did you think I said?
Okay, let's get right into it. Okay, because the real question, center. I don't like because center is just like you said. It's not a lot of centers in the game. You know what I'm saying? So let's get really into it.
Wait. But before you ask that, can I just know what it is that you thought I said?
I thought you said big men. So that's why I want to really get into it. Because power forwards and centers and stuff like that. This is a real question. Is Ayton a top 12 big men in the association?
Top 12.
I was going to say top 15.
Either I just know, you should, all right, say 10 or 15. You think I just know, either I know 11 exact.
All right, here we go. I got it for you. Would you rather? I guess here we go. Playing a game. Would you rather have DeAndre Ayton edition? All right, so I said 12. I'm just going to list them off. We know six that are already locked. So I'm going to say 15 actually, because we know 6 that are already locked. We got Giannis. He's not. Do
you have a list in front of you that you're about to read off, or just off the dome?
No. I know 6. I'm going to pull up a list, but I got 6 off the top of the dome that we already know that it's not even Giannis. He's not better. He's better than. Not better than. I'm sorry. AD, Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid, Cat. So that's 5 right there, right? That's 5 locks. We know that he's not better than. So, all right. So now I want your analysis.
I mean, so far so good. I mean, there's no. You just
named
5.
Yeah. Would you have DeAndre Ayton over Zion Williamson?
Now. Like today,
we're Zion coming back, hasn't played in a year.
Right. So your question was, would I rather have DeAndre Ayton or Zion Williamson today?
Yeah, this is.
I would say DeAndre Ayton.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that I think he's better.
Okay.
But just considering everything that we've seen, and we talk about availability all the time. And again, Zion could come out and, you know what I'm saying, average 30 this year for all we know. Yeah. But like, there's also a question mark. Zion could also, not play half the season.
So Zion Wilson. So this is
if they both healthy, and I know for a fact they both are going to play a good amount of games, it's Zion hands down. But because of the fact that there's a question mark, I'm going DeAndre.
I'm taking Zion. Okay, would you rather have DeAndre Ayton edition? Zion Wilson, Bam Adebayo.
There we go. We had this discussion already. I'm gonna take DeAndre though. I mean that one really is. Oh, there we go. I was about to say they about to be teammates, but no, he's not on the Pacers. I'm gonna go DeAndre again. That's
Jared Allen.
DeAndre. Shout out to the All-Star though. Shout out to Jared Allen.
Robert Williams.
Definitely DeAndre.
Nikola Vucevic.
If Vucevic was still on the Magic, I would say him. But now, DeAndre.
Okay. Rudy Gobert.
DeAndre Ayton.
Julius Randle.
Whoo, DeAndre Ayton.
John Collins.
So, DeAndre Ayton again.
Wow, you're high on DeAndre Ayton because it's not high. I respect it. I respect it because I said, is he the argument was like, is he a top 12 big man in the association? In your opinion, yes, he hits that that metric.
Yeah.
So you said,
hey, low key, it might even be a question now that I think about it. Especially if it's 12 big men, bro. It's not.
You said, okay, we got the 6. Giannis, Joel Embiid, Cat, Nikola Vucevic, and Anthony Davis.
You just snuck in Vucevic. I don't know why you just did that.
I'm sorry, Nikola Jokic.
Okay,
Jokic, Cat, Joel, Giannis.
There we go. There you go. Man, just snuck in Vucevic. I was just about to let that slide. Jokic. All right, of course, we here. Vucevic.
Yeah. Back up. All right, so 5. So those 5. Zion Williamson. I'm taking even not knowing Zion how many games he's gonna play. I'm still taking over DeAndre Ayton. Bam, I'm taking him over DeAndre Ayton as well. I feel like Bam could just do more, guard more, multiple positions, and also I feel like Bam is not gonna not be able to stay on the court when it matters. You know what I'm saying? Like DeAndre, it's been times where when you need him in a playoff situation to be on the court, they kind of play better with him not on the court. So I know Bam is going to be there when it matters. Sabonis. That's a tough one because it's like that's both traditional bigs in a sense. Where you got Deandre Ayton and you got Sabonis. It's kind of like 20 and 10, pissing them in for both of these guys. So that's a kind of like which one would you rather have? I probably would say maybe Sabonis because Sabonis has been to multiple All-Star games and he's going to be in a new situation with De'Aaron Fox and stuff like that. And if DeAndre Ayton is going to play with the Indiana Pacers, I mean, you know,
there's still some time. There's still some time.
Yeah,
there's still some time.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But
as of this recording,
probably Sabonis.
Some time.
Yeah, as probably Sabonis. Jared Allen. I'm taking Jared Allen over DeAndre Ayton. Defensively, and also like he's getting 15, 16 points a game, 10 points off a lob. So, you know, and he's rim protecting. So Robert Williams, after what I've seen in this playoffs, Robert Williams has a long way to go on the offensive side, but defensively, he's there. So like that's not a total like I'm gonna go with Ayton, but that's not like a total. That's
no, it is. And again, that's not a shade. That's not shade. No, for real, that's not shade to Robert Williams, though. And I don't want anyone to take it that way. Just like we talking about a former number 1 overall pick who just got a 4-year, 100. Like, there's a reason why he just got literally, was it the largest offer sheet in NBA history? Like, it has nothing to do with my views or opinions towards Robert Williams. Again, one of the great defensive centers in the league. But we talking about DeAndre Ayton here. That's all it is. Like, if I really thought that one of the players that we were talking about or debating was mid, I'd say it. You know I would. But no, it's no shade to Robert Williams. We just talking about DeAndre Ayton here. That's all.
Robert Williams would probably get like have a 4-year, $100 million contract. He's underpaid. Like
he's very talented. Yeah.
Shout out to the Celtics. They got him for a steal. Rudy Gobert. I'm taking DeAndre Ayton, but even Rudy Gobert, people can sit up and say the same thing about like the Robert Williams like comparison. Like, yo, rim protecting. Rudy Gobert gonna get you 15 points per night. Yeah. So it's and Julius Randle was on the All-NBA team a year ago and led his team to the playoffs, being the number 1 option. So it's closer than we really think. But I think you kind of like this, giving like DeAndre Ayton like the benefit because like, yo, he was a former overall pick. He's averaged 19 and 20 and 10 his entire career. But I think it's closer. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why if the Suns do let him go or whatever, or he goes to the Indiana Pacers or he gets traded or whatever happens with that situation, it's kind of like, I think they're looking at it like, well, for a production standpoint, yeah, we're losing on the potential of his talent, but if we can get a guy coming back that can give us, 14 and 10, hey, it may be worth the risk of letting him go and not paying that huge sum of money.
So some of it was based off potential in terms of the names that you just mentioned, right? So DeAndre has a way higher ceiling than probably all those guys except for Zion. Right.
And
so
Bam,
it's like,
and Bam.
Well, yeah, okay. Yes, that's true. Well, Zion, ceiling-wise, none of them are. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so I mean, and also to another thing is preference, I think, was a huge part of it as well. Right. So again, there's certain strengths that Rudy has that DeAndre doesn't. So for me, I like a scoring big. So none of the gentlemen that we probably just talked about, scoring-wise, again, outside of Zion, are in the same, you know what I'm saying, kind of stratosphere. And again, shout out to Bam. I know he, can still do multiple things outside
hold on now, because
you got the hoop.
You got Sabonis, you got Julius Randle,
so Julius and
Nikola
Sabonis,
Vucevic,
I feel like
the most 3-level scorer out of the bunch we just mentioned.
Again,
not included that original 5.
What I originally said was if we was talking Orlando Vucevic, not Chicago. But anyway. Yeah. Julius versus Sabonis, that I think that debate is going to happen for a very long time. It's almost similar to the Brandon Ingram versus Jason Tatum debate years ago. Not now, but years ago. That used to always happen. But I mean, I don't know. I think DeAndre, again, with his ability to score the ball, and you kind of just know that, like, eventually DeAndre is going to step into that scene where it's like, all right, he's going to be a consistent all-star. I don't know if I can say that for a lot of other players.
That's okay. I respect that for like a potential standpoint.
Yeah, especially if you're talking about center.
He's more likely to be a more perennial all-star than a lot of the guys on this list. I feel that. So if he goes to the Eastern Conference, we're looking at Joel Embiid, we're looking at Giannis, we're looking at Jared Allen, we're looking at Bam. So you may be on to something. Like,
well, I mean, again, if we're talking just center-wise, it's only Embiid. Well,
I'm talking like, okay, big
I mean, if you're talking all-star
man.
potential, I mean, if we just got to, work backwards, how the shitty ass voting is. If there's one center or whatever, Embiid,
Yeah.
cool. Bam. There's a ... You know what I'm saying? So he could probably fill that in. But again, who knows? He may end up staying with the Suns and we forget all this happened. But I think anytime you get the largest offer sheet in NBA history, whether you're not an analytics person or not, that's still like, there's a reason for that.
Or, or just could be desperation for an organization that's trying to...
I wouldn't say...
define something.
Are you talking about the Pacers?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the hell Indiana's doing, but I mean...
I don't know what they're doing.
No, for real. You got Miles Turner. Anyway, I mean, I'm happy for DeAndre. I don't care if you get shipped off to OKC or wherever. As long as you got your money, play. I'm happy for you. But
Shanghai
for Phoenix
in China.
Yeah, I say, are they throwing it back? If they're throwing it back, then collect it. You feel me?
Yeah.
But I mean, in terms of fit, yeah, good luck, Indiana. I mean, you know.
Well, I mean, I'm sure if he eventually goes there, some of those guys aren't going to be there anymore. So.
Well, yeah, I mean,
what does this do? What does this do for potentially? I know we're talking about because we don't know what's going to happen.
I know what you're going to ask.
But what does this do for the Brooklyn Nets?
Not a damn thing.
And Kevin
Durant. To me, it doesn't mean a damn thing. If I'm the Brooklyn Nets, I'm keeping both Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, and we're running it back. And we're going to figure out, because to me, the packages in return aren't worth it unless it's something outrageous. And you're
not gonna. But I think people are missing a point though. Like this whole saga with KD, I think the Brooklyn Nets came into the situation where they thought they were going to get, I guess they thought Kevin Durant was 31, 32 years old, 30 years old. Hit prime still well ahead of them. I think they kind of played themselves. So they came here in this situation thinking all right, we got Kevin Durant, the best player in the world, arguably the best player in the world. If you don't think he's the best player in the world, he's at least top 3. So they came into the situation thinking all right, we about to get 4 or 5 first round picks. We're about to get, a young up and coming all-star. They thought wrong. And that's not the case because that's like if LeBron James says to the Lakers, oh, I want to be traded. I'm sorry, LeBron James is about to be 38 years old this year. Who's about to give up their entire future for LeBron James? It's even with Kevin Durant. That's the same thing. Kevin Durant's about to be 34 years old. And it's just kind of he's also had he's had a major injury as well. So it's just he hasn't these past 2 years, not like he's played 60 plus games either. So it's just they're going to teams like the New York Pelicans yo, we want Brandon Ingram for a KD trade. Hang up the phone, New Orleans. Why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? Phoenix Suns, we want Devin Booker. Hang up the phone, the Phoenix Suns to Brooklyn. Why would you do that? Because it's just kind of at this point of Kevin Durant's career, yes, 2 things can be true. He's the best player in the world, but for going forward for the next 10 years or 7, 8 years, you don't want Kevin Durant compared to these younger guys. So Brooklyn Nets kind of played themselves.
So are you saying, and again, I'm not putting words in your mouth, this is literally a question. Are you saying it's a challenge or damn near impossible to trade for Kevin Durant?
With what the Brooklyn Nets are wanting back, yes, I think it is. Because you got 2 options. You got Phoenix Suns and basically that situation, we don't know what's going to happen with the Deandre Ayton or whatever. And then you got the Miami Heat. And it's just and you got maybe the Philadelphia Sixers if they put a package together for, I don't know, Tobias, Tyrese Maxey, or something, but they gave all their first round picks.
I'm not picking up the phone if I don't hear the words James Harden or Joel Embiid. And I'm rocking up with
and that's the problem because
I don't blame him.
You're not the Brooklyn Nets. You're not getting that.
Well, then ain't nobody gonna be happy. That's fine. We are gonna be miserable. Well, not miserable, but you feel me? And it's still Kevin Durant, right? And I know this is a players' league, and we say that he has leverage, which he does. But at the same time, the Nets don't have to. He's still under contract, so the Nets don't have to wait. All right, we have to trade him. We are ways away from the actual season starting. And so at the end of the day, what you don't want to do is make a terrible trade. This isn't earlier days in players' careers where they could just leave because of free agent. He's still under contract. So,
yeah, that's true.
And it's still Kevin Durant. So you want to make sure you're getting a great amount of value in return.
That's true. Kevin Durant, James Harden had 2 years left, but when a player is unhappy, they're in the locker room. It's a whole lot of it affects the front office. It affects the whole team. James Harden came out in an interview after the game and just said, this is not enough. These guys, we can't win. That's demoralizing to a whole team. You sit up and you go to a press conference, you sit up and tell everybody, the national world that, Like, it's not enough players in his locker room. Like, we just that's demoralizing.
First of all,
the longer this takes out and plays, say Kevin Durant, and I don't think Kevin Durant's that type of person, but like, because Kevin Durant loves to hoop at the end of the day. But like, the longer this takes, like, the more dicier this situation can be. And you may end up like, ruin the trade package you can potentially get right now, trying to wait it out in the future.
Yeah, I mean, so to your point too, I think the timing of when trades were requested or whatnot, and I don't think in Kevin's situation, we've reached a point where it's time to like, damn, like he throwing everybody under the bus, or damn, it's like, okay, we really, really got to trade him. Because we've seen a lot of superstars in years prior be upset, request trade, and not get traded, and things just go over smoothly. And I don't know if that's going to happen here, but it's like, I think it's too much of a risk just to respond off emotions initially. Kevin Durant says, all right, I want to be traded. Don't just accept any random offer just because he says that. Who knows? Maybe a month from now, he changes his mind. Who knows? A year from now, he ends up being Finals MVP. Like, this is still Kevin Durant. I don't think it's worth just accepting, regardless of, I hate to say it, but how disappointed he is. Like, eventually, like you said, he loves to hoop. So maybe he reaches a point where it's like, all right, let's just rock and roll. Let's just run it back and see, what this team really does. Because, it's not a secret that they didn't end the season, that they ended the season the way they didn't want. But
you can love something, and it can still not be right for you. So he may love the hoop. He can love the hoop all he wants, but if he got to go into work every day, into practice, and be miserable on the court and be miserable, like, that starts affecting your mental toll as well.
I don't see that happening, though. I do think, though, there's a difference between requesting a trade and being unhappy, right? Like, now, I don't know Kevin personally, but I don't feel, or at least I can't tell, that like he's unhappy. Now, he may want a different situation. He may feel like where he's at isn't what's best for him, but it's another thing to be like, all right, I gotta get out here. Like, I am literally willing to, like, the Ben Simmons situation. That was an unhappy situation with Philly. That was like, I'm literally willing to lose money or not playing games or whatever. That's how pissed off I am. I don't think it's reached that point with Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets. I think it's just, like, I would prefer to leave. I respect the organization, but get me the hell up out of here. That's not the same thing as being like completely unhappy.
I mean, we'll see, because
if I'm the GM, he would have to come out his mouth and say, like, like, if you don't we like, there would have to be bigger problems. It wouldn't just be, like, be traded.
The owner already said he don't really want them there, though. So that's another thing. Like, you got an owner that they don't want you there. So it's just like, it's a whole lot of things. It's a dicey situation.
This is always the amazing things that we talk about in this league. Because shout out to Scoop, he mentioned this on his episode. The idea of, like, us as fans, we watch the game for the players. You buy tickets for the players. You want to sit courtside for the players. You stream certain games for the players. Don't nobody give a damn about what the GMs or owners or whoever got going on. And so it's like,
that's true.
I don't know what the reason may be as to why the Nets don't want Kevin or Kyrie outside the request for trades, but like, do y'all think there's another Kevin Durant walking through those doors? Do y'all think there's another Kyrie Irving that, like, is rushing to play in Barclays Center that I don't know about?
It's pride.
What are we doing?
You know how it is. These guys are billionaires. You know all people know what's the real, like, what's going on. Like, you are of all, in this country, like, you already know the real reason behind that.
I get it, but there comes a point in time as a person, I don't give a damn if you're a general manager, owner, player, whatever, where you have to swallow your pride and say, you know what? I might be pissed off, but at the same time, I'm going to acknowledge the fact that this player can probably win this city a championship. Again, that's another thing too. It's Kevin Durant. We're not talking about, like, an 11th man on the roster. We're not talking about someone being called up from the damn G League, pissing everybody else off. Like, where do you think another Kevin Durant is about to, come to your team? Like, so I'm not saying that, you should just roll out the red carpet and do whatever he requests and all that. But at the same time, don't be an idiot. Because I think what it is too, the Nets don't have the luxury. Like, y'all don't have a rich history. There aren't mad banners up in that damn arena. It ain't like y'all done got, like, what are y'all doing? Yeah. Now, if some teams were like that, not to throw names, you feel me? Like, all right, I get it. Y'all done won so damn much that you don't want to kiss no player's ass. But the Net, huh? Y'all so used to winning or something? Like, I don't know, man. Some GMs.
Yeah, but you know that winning is not the focus for a lot of these teams. So that could be a situation where you look at it like, oh, well, we lose Kevin Durant, we lost Kyrie Irving. Like, all right, whatever.
Okay. I mean, say that if you're Sacramento. Right, say that if you're Charlotte,
who are the Brooklyn Nets?
You feel me? But
like you know, what I'm saying, like they're not like you just said, they're not the Lakers. They're not the Miami Heat. They're not the San Antonio Spurs.
You're right, but they have Kevin Durant. So
yeah,
if you have Kevin Durant, you should not be in a position like, oh, we don't really care about the season. Why the hell not? You have a rare opportunity to win chips. You're not building. You're not starting from level one. You got 2 first ballot Hall of Famers. You got 2 NBA champions that could get it done now. Like you don't have to wait and rebuild. You can go out and get active right now and try and win a chip. But this whole we don't want them. What is the alternative? Is there something that I don't know?
Yeah.
Like, and again, I'm all for entertaining like trade packages. It'll be one thing if like certain proposals were made and then they were like, we want more, or this just isn't good enough. All right, cool. To me, leverage is everything. But to just straight up say like, all right, we don't want Kevin. Okay, my fault. Y'all must know some hoopers out in Brooklyn that just about to get active or something. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
It's like, and even if you want to play the age thing, his injuries and all that, like, again, what is the alternative? Because if you really feel that active, release him.
Well, of course, you're not gonna do that.
Of course, not gonna do that. But still, because it's so crazy. In one breath, you'll say, "Well, he's 34 years old. He's aging. He's coming off 2 crazy injuries." But in another breath, we'll say he's a top 3 player in the league. Or we want to keep him. We think that he can win Final MVP. We think that he can lead this city to a championship. So which one is it? Which one is it? Do you think that Kevin Durant is like? Come on,
Tom gonna tell. It's all gonna get solved eventually. It's all gonna get solved. It's gonna have to get solved because at the end of the day, I know for a fact that like unless they go out and run it back like you said, and they win a championship, I know for a fact Kyrie Irving not gonna be there next year. Because that's what it really all stems down from. We want to keep it a buck. Like Kevin Durant saw how he did his mans. They don't want to re-up Kyrie and sign him for a multi-year deal. And Kyrie's looking at and Kevin Durant's looking at the situation was like, I came to play with Kyrie. So it's just like, if Kyrie's not going to be here only but 1 year, it's just like, what the hell does that leave me? And he's thinking like, I need to go into a situation where I can like maximize winning and be in a situation where I have a chance to win, especially if this team is going to let Kyrie Irving walk after the year or not pay him. So that's kind of the whole situation. And it's kind of like the Brooklyn, at the end of the day, like you said, it's like the Brooklyn Nets are being very, very like kind of silly just the way they're handling this whole situation at the end of the day, kind of like what you've been saying. So
yeah, you use the word silly. I'll use the word petty.
Yeah.
But,
silly,
we're adults.
Incompetent. It's a lot of words. A lot of words you can throw out there. So yeah, it is what it is.
You got a cap or no cap?
Cap or no cap, Donovan Mitchell will be a New York Knick before the start of the 2022-23 NBA season.
No cap. Congratulations, Knicks fans. I actually, give you some flowers. I hope y'all get spotted. I really do mean that, just because for 2 reasons. I think this works out best, for both parties. Right? The Knicks get that superstar that they've been desperately waiting for.
Yep.
And at the same time, Donovan Mitchell is no longer in the state of Utah. Just the idea of like he no longer has to worry about, okay, I don't really have any other stars, and on top of that, I'm not really in a market where I can really maximize my potential. So I hope a deal gets done. I'm not even saying this as a Knicks fan, but to me, this is something that has been the most realistic target for Knicks fans in a while. Like, this is something I actually believe can happen. All that other shit, we're going to get KD. Like, no, you never were. But getting, Spider, I think, that's possible. Now, the only thing is, though, it's just a matter of what they're going to have to give up. And we saw the deal that, of course, it don't matter, but you know how emotions are, So would you give up? Would you put up RJ in the deal?
No, because they don't have to.
If you're the Knicks, you would not put up RJ.
Yeah, they don't have because they're not gonna have to put. They're not gonna have to put RJ up to get the deal for Donovan Mitchell. They got that many draft picks. Simple as that. Like,
Damn, Utah.
They got that many draft picks. Like Utah is in a full blitz. They want picks. You know what I'm saying? Like you saw that package they got for Rudy Gobert. They want picks. They ain't thinking about players returning. They ain't thinking about young core. They think about we starting this shit all the way over for scratch. You know, shout out to Utah guys. That's a team that knows what they actually want to really do, and they're really about it. They're not pretending, like you said with the Brooklyn Nets. We're not pretending like, oh, we don't want Kevin Durant, but we don't want this. We want to get a certain type of deal. We want Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns to return. You know what I'm saying? They're not pretending. They know what they want to do. You know, so shout out to the Jazz. So I don't think the Knicks are going to have to give up RJ Barrett. It's people that are talking about, we don't really have to get into this, but just know that I don't think they have to get up to RJ Barrett. We'll talk about the rest of the stuff in the roster when it actually happens. But I believe it's going to happen. It's a matter of when, not if, in my opinion.
That'd be crazy. I would be happy for Spider. I'd be happy for Knicks fans. You know, give them kind of a reason to rejoice. I hope I hope he ends up playing well, though. Like, because that whole guards curse is real. No, you go down to history, bro. Some players have been fantastic. Okay. You go, whatever word you want to use then. There have been some fantastic ball players pre-Madison Square Garden. And then I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the organization or what. But shit just turns wacky.
Some of them were head cases as well. So,
well, of course, that's what I said. I don't know what it is. I ain't say it was a coach, the city, the weather, as you have mentioned about damn Miami. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's hopefully the Knicks can land Spider. If not, hopefully they make the playoffs. But I think them being able to keep RJ as well as Spider could do some,
that's
some great things.
Nice core to build around. You got to keep RJ Barrett because if you give up RJ Barrett, what's the point of getting Donovan Mitchell? Honestly,
I wouldn't go that far.
No, I mean, but it's just kind of like
the point.
I'm just saying, but it's just like it makes it like, okay, well, you're probably a playing team, maybe a lottery team. You know what I'm saying? That's the same. It's like that's what I look at it like. If they get Donovan Mitchell, all right, cool. Like you're probably still playing. If you give up RJ Barrett, that's not really.
I don't know. Spada and Julius. I mean, that's good. That could.
I forgot about Julius.
Man, I forgot about Julius. That's tough. That's heavy.
After that last season, he's been forgettable. So
that's kind of heavy. That's kind of heavy.
It's not like he,
that's not necessary.
Not forget him.
That's not necessary.
Ask the Knicks fans how they feel. I'm just being honest.
No, Knicks fans. Whoo.
Yeah, I'm just being honest.
I haven't seen Knicks fans turn on too many players before. Y'all might be crazy and delusional Knicks fans, but y'all are loyal. I will give you that. But the way Julius and that fan base has kind of been a little.
I mean, they got on
edge one night.
Yeah, they got swindled. Like I understand it. People got to understand. Like you got to know what you got to know. Like you got to know. Like when it's contract season, like players are like as soon as they know
LeBron James or contract season.
As soon as going into a season as a contract year, as soon as the previous season ends. Them guys in the gym, they know what time it's like. They not even no all season, no break. It's time to get that money. Like they got swindled. Like it ain't the first for the Knicks. Like Allen Houston, like Amari Stoudemire. Like it ain't the first. It ain't the first time. Like I hope this Jalen Brunson situation don't be the same thing.
I forgot about that.
Because $100 million for the player that's never. Made the All-Star game. This is the first time in history that's ever happened. So we'll see. And I don't think it's not a bad contract because it's gonna be a really good contract once we see like the next year the increase in the salary cap and stuff like that. But still though, it's just like these are questions and concerns. Like if you're a Knicks fan.
We know Jalen Brunson is cold. We know that the potential is there, and it's gonna be a cold backcourt. But still. Y'all in our prayers, Knicks fans, man. For real. But a couple housekeeping items before we slide. You already know. Make sure you subscribe to No Pump Fakes on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, as well as Spotify. All right, subscribe to No Pump Fakes wherever you get your podcasts: YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And just like that, y'all, we gone. Peace. What's up, y'all? It's Theus McBee. Make sure you go follow No Pump Fakes on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you listen to your podcasts.